Hello students, welcome to a lesson through the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher, and in this lockdown period, since we are not able to go to school, children, we will be doing many lessons here online through the virtual class. So come on, let's proceed to our lesson for today.
So today children we will be moving on and will be looking at the next lesson in our EVS textbooks. So if you have your EVS textbooks with you, please open them and come to page number 33. We are going to learn many interesting things today in this particular lesson. And the name of the lesson for today will be Getting to Know the Place We Live In. Alright? So some of us, we go to our villages during our vacation. Isn't it? Most of us now, we live in the city. We live in Mumbai city. So we cannot say that we live in villages, but we do go to our village during our vacation. Isn't it? Now, some of us, we live in towns, and the others, we live in the city. So when you are living in a town, or when you are living in a village, or when you are living in a city, what is it that you need to know about the place? Alright? Now, like I told you, that when we are living in a particular place, there are certain things about that particular place which is very, very famous. So when we talk about Mumbai, there are many important things in Mumbai which are very, very famous. We have the Taj Mahal Hotel in Mumbai. We have the Great Way of India in Mumbai. We have the Bandra Worli Sea Link in Mumbai, isn't it? So today, in today's lesson, we are going to talk about the town, the city that we live in, and how these places are famous and why they are famous, okay? And how should we preserve our town and our city. But before going there, before trying to see why our town is famous and what are the famous things in our city, we will try and understand how these cities were formed. Okay? But before that, there is a very nice exercise, a word puzzle in your textbook. So let us try and solve that word puzzle and then we will move on. Now we do not have too much time, children, okay? So that is the reason I will show you the names of the places and then we will try and see whether we are able to locate them on this grid. So we will learn the names of some new places also. So let us see which is the first place here. So we have Pune. All of us have heard about Pune. It is a city which is very, very close to Mumbai. So this is Pune here. Okay. Then we have Kolhapur. Now when we talk about Kolhapur, we remember Jaggery there. We remember the very famous temple, Mahalakshmi temple of Kolhapur. So say here is Kolhapur. Okay. And then we have Latur. See? Latur here. Alright, let's see the name of our next city, Thane. So now Thane is also a city which is very close to Mumbai. It borders Mumbai. Alright, and then let's see what our next city is. So we have Satara as a city. Here it is, Satara. And then we have Pen. Here it is, Pen. Okay. So these are the various cities. See, one more is there, Nashik. Where is Nashik here on the grid? Here it is. And if you try and search, you might see many other cities also. You will be able to find out the names of at least 3 or 4 other cities or places also. Okay, children? So these are some cities in our state of Maharashtra. Now first, before going and finding out why these places become famous, let us try and see why such cities or why such towns or villages came into existence in the first place. Let us try and understand about the history of these towns and these villages. So let us learn how towns were formed. So can you see, this is you can't call it a city, it is an image of a town. Now what is a town? A town is bigger than a village, but it is smaller than a city. Okay, so let us try and see how these towns or how these villages even or how the cities were formed. So we are going to see a very interesting story about how man progressed and he was in the beginning a nomad. Okay, so humans were nomadic in nature. Now, who are nomads, children? Nomads are people who go from one place to another. They do not have any permanent house, or they do not have any permanent place where they stay. Okay, they move on, they keep moving from one place to another in search of food, in search of, you can say, clothing, in search of shelter. So in one place, when it starts raining, they move to a place where there is no rain. Alright, so human beings, all of us, we were all nomads once upon a time. Alright, from there, and we were hunter gatherers. Who were we? We were hunter gatherers. That is, we did not know to grow anything. We just hunted, and we killed small animals, and we gathered whatever we could find lying around in the surrounding. So you can see here mangoes and fruits falling from the tree, and we used to simply gather these, and we used to eat it and fill our stomach. So we were hunter gatherers. Can you see? You can see this image showing both of the things, hunting as well as gathering. So we as human beings, in the beginning, we did not have a permanent place to live in. We even did not have a permanent one kind of food which we used to cultivate and eat. We used to eat whatever we found around us. From there, we slowly developed, and we started doing farming. Okay, we learned how to grow our own crops, because it was not always possible to get food. Sometimes when there was nothing available to eat, and there were no animals also to hunt around, then we realized that no, this will not do. We will have to learn how to grow our own food, and so we decided to do some farming. And now you all know, children, that when you're doing farming, you require so many things for it. See, so man slowly started farming, and then they slowly started settling down also. So can you see here, they have some houses, all right, and they are farming. You can see a man and a woman cutting some grass or something. And you will also notice a very, very important thing. They chose to settle near places where water was available to them. So wherever there used to be water for drinking, like there was a river or there was a pond or a lake or something, they used to try and settle around those places. So slowly and slowly, he started settling down, and settlements were formed. See here, and how the settlements started growing also. Alright, there you could see a few small huts, and now here there are better houses. And you will also see they started not only doing agriculture, but they also started farming animals, that is animal husbandry also they started doing. Now when you farm, children, and then they started settling like this, okay, many such small settlements, they merged together to form villages or towns. So there were two small villages, they came together, and they merged together, and then there was this big town there over here. So this is how slowly and slowly settlements develop. So we are talking about cities in this lesson. We are talking about the places that we live in. So it is very necessary for us to know how these places came into existence, isn't it? Now you will see that man started needing implements for farming. Okay, he started needing this kind of hoe, and he started needing all these different instruments for farming. So he started making all the instruments himself. Some of them he started making it himself, but then he realized that it was not possible for him to make all the things that he needed. So he would make his farming instruments and he would farm, but what about the clothes that he had to wear? What about the ornaments that he had to wear? What about the utensils that he needed to cook? So who would make all this? So slowly and slowly, people started doing different types of work. Okay, some of them started saying, okay, he's farming, so let me do some weaving. Weaving is making cloth. Some others started saying, let me start making some jewelry. Okay, see, she's making jewelry out of beads. She's making necklaces, earrings, etc. Alright, so this is how slowly people started doing different kind of occupations. See, some of them said he's farming, she's making earrings, and she's making cloth. So come on now, let me make some pots and pans for the people. Okay, so potters came into being, and then now we needed different kind of implements. So for that we needed iron also. So now the blacksmith started becoming famous. Okay, there was this person who said, no, I will learn how to make these things and I will do only this work, I will not do farming. So slowly and slowly the different kind of occupations started developing, and then the villages also started becoming self-sufficient. See, people started doing different kinds of work. Okay, and then the villages started becoming self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means everything that they needed to live was available in their village. So this is how children's cities and villages, they came to exist. Now let us see why some of these places became famous. Okay, so let me show you some pictures here. I'm sure all of us know about this place and we have visited this place also. Now which is this place? This is the very famous place in Mumbai, and that is the Gateway of India. Isn't it? All of us have gone here and we have all done some boating also probably. I don't know whether all of us have done boating, but surely we have gone and we have seen this place. It is not only we, but people from all over India and even people from abroad, foreign countries, who come to see this place. Isn't it? So this is the Gateway of India. Let me show you one very famous place in our city once again. This is the Dargah of Haji Ali. This is also a very famous place. So when I showed you these two pictures, that is this one and this one, what city did you remember, or which city came to your mind immediately? Yes, it is our very own dear city of Mumbai, isn't it? So when we say Mumbai, we remember all these things. We remember the Mahalakshmi temple, we remember the Haji Ali, we remember the church at Mahim, isn't it? And the bandstand at Bandra and the Bandra Valley ceiling. So there are so many things which make our city famous, Mumbai. Now just like Mumbai, there are many other places also which are famous because of the temples there, because of the caves there. Okay, you must have gone to, or you must have at least heard about Ajanta and Ellora caves, or the Elephanta caves, which are closer to Mumbai. So when you say Ajanta Ellora, what is it famous for? It is famous for the caves in that place. Okay, some places are famous for the mosques, some places are famous for churches, isn't it? So a city or a town is known by many of the historical things present there, or because of the monuments present there. Now see, this is a very beautiful statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So there are some places which are famous because of these memorials, isn't it? See, some places are famous for the forts. So you go to a particular place like Murud Janjira, you will be able to see such beautiful forts, and there are forts in Raigad district also. So some places are famous for the forts, some places are famous for museums, isn't it? And then when you go to see some places, you realize that all these places are historically very important. These places or these objects or these monuments, they help us to understand our history. Okay, so what should we do? They are very famous for us, that means they are very valuable for us. Okay, now these buildings also, they are our treasure. Treasure means there's something which is very valuable for us. Now when you have something very valuable at home, what do? You try to keep it safe, isn't it? You try to see that no one takes it away from you. You try to see that no one damages it. So in the same way, all these historical objects, these buildings, etc., they are our treasure. Treasure means something which is very valuable. Okay, so we should all try to protect these things and also try to keep them safe. So what will you do? How will you try to protect these kind of places? For example, when we go to see a fort or when we go to see a temple, we sometimes see people writing on the walls of these forts using stone. Sometimes we see people throwing rubbish here and there. Okay, we see people spitting, we see people making the place dirty. When you see such a thing, what should you do? You should immediately tell them, my teacher has taught me in standard 3rd EVS that protecting these historical objects is my responsibility. So you should very gently but very firmly tell them that they should not do things like this. So protecting all these historical things, historical objects, monuments, temples, mosques, all this is our responsibility. Okay, children? So, see, there is this Raigad fort, and Raigad district is very famous for the Raigad fort. Alright? Now you will see that some places are even named after some very great personalities. Now this place also, all of us Mumbaikars, we know this place very well, isn't it? So this is the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus railway station. Now this railway station is named after the greatest king of India, that is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Alright? Now there are many other places also dedicated to the memory of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So see, there is this place called near Talegaon. There is this place called Talegaon. Now, why is this place called Talegaon? Because Shivaji Maharaj had stopped near Talegaon and he had set up a camp there or a base there. In Marathi it is called as Tad, and therefore the name of this place became Talegaon. Alright children, so today we learnt about how villages, how towns, how cities are formed, okay, why they come up, how they become self-sufficient, and how some of these places become very famous because of certain monuments, because of certain buildings in these places. Now these monuments, these buildings are historically very important. They help us to learn about history. Okay, so they are considered as our treasure. And when something is a treasure, what should be done to it? We should all try to keep it safe. So that is the message which I gave you, that whenever you see anyone misbehaving at these places or trying to make these places dirty, you should immediately and firmly and gently tell them that what they are doing is wrong.
So children, wasn't that a wonderful video? And did you enjoy watching it? So if you want to watch more such videos in future, then please like this video and also subscribe to our channel, the MCGM Portal for Education, and also hit the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video here. Thank you so much for now. Let's meet again soon.